was going to start with some trigger warnings, but pointless now, really, isn't it? Right, nice to be in the city. I come from the countryside. It's a bit like poor phone signal where I come from. They started having to put telephones in the red defibrillator boxes. That's how that is. You two together? You said you've been together 10 years? Me and my wife have been together for over 30 years. How do you find it difficult to buy presents? I'm still good. Over 30 years, I find it really difficult. So we've opted to get these adverts pop up on Facebook, and I saw one for Women's Enhanced Pleasure Serum. I thought, modern man, we'll give it a go. Came the other day, and I thought I'd better test it out. Took a little sip. Nothing happened for 5 minutes. Then I got an overwhelming urge to give her the remote control, get her a gin and tonic and clean the bathroom. Best night of her life, she said. So I've been doing this long, and my friends was asking, surprised why I do it, asking why I did it, because they know I'd suffered with anxiety and panic attacks. And the honest answer is that I decided I needed to do something that was going to help me rebuild my confidence and develop resilience. I wanted to do something that was going to take myself out of my comfort zone. So a choice between doing this or becoming a drag act. I'm doing a tour of Qatar and Iran. Realised the other week, one of the other reasons I'm doing this is one of the cheaper midlife crises you can do. And the midlife crisis is pushing it. I'm going to have to live to be 110 for this to be a midlife crisis. Doesn't mean I've got to the age I've got a bucket list. Anyone else got a bucket list? I've actually got 2 bucket lists. I've got one I can share with my wife. Let's just say if she finds the second one, I'm not going to have long to complete the first one. I didn't always do things that took myself out of my comfort zone. I actively avoided stressful situations when I wasn't going out seeing friends. And perhaps quite inevitably that led to depression. And one of the problems was that I lost my sense of humour and I wasn't finding things funny. Well, actually, I was worried this was coming back the other day and realised I'd accidentally flicked over to Mrs Brown's piece. And that explains that really. Got a lot of advice about mental health from friends and stuff. So they're saying exercise is really good. Your healthcare professional exercise is good for your mental health, isn't it? Yeah. My trouble is I lacked motivation. And I think for 3 years, the only exercise I got was holding my stomach in on holiday. End up sitting on the sofa watching a lot of daytime TV. I think we can agree that daytime TV is shit, isn't it? Yeah. I'm sure it's commissioned by the Department of Work and Pensions to get people back to work. There's a few things I like. I like Great British Bake Off, I like Sewing Bee, Pottery Challenge, I've got Jewellery Woodworking. They're all getting in on the act. Even the adult channels. Flipped over to Babe Station, Great British Wank Off. Mind you, their technical challenge was tough this week. Oh my god. Yeah, can you imagine? All they gave them was 5 minutes. 5 minutes and 2 pictures of Anne Widdecombe. Tried playing along at home, now seriously overdrawn and wank bank. My dad would not have liked that last bit. Literally the first thing he said to me when I told him I was going to do stand-up was, I hope you're not going to swear. I don't think I swear a great deal. In fact, if you think back, all I've had is a shit and 2 wanks. Which incidentally is how I prepare for every gig. Although at my age means I can only do a couple of gigs a month. But it's interesting, this like swear words. The one my dad doesn't like is the C. I think the truth of most people is the C word. Like that. Don't shout it out, but the thing is, we're all adults here. We know what that word is, don't we? So we know that. It's like newspapers when they print F star K. We know what that word is. We hear it in our head, and they say they do it because children might be reading the newspaper, which is fair enough. But one of the papers that does this a lot is the Daily Telegraph. Now, I don't know what kids are reading the Daily Telegraph. And if they are, they're already C star T's anyway, aren't they? Right, no more swearing. So I could get, other advice. Music again, great for your mental health. I'll get into 1970s rock. Anyone else like 70s rock? Yeah, a few fans of it. Yeah. I loved the energy it gave me. I used to listen to it first thing in the morning. I used to listen at lunchtime, I'd been working before I went to bed, and then when I wasn't listening to it, I was thinking about it. And then health kicked in, and I thought, well, maybe I'm listening too much, and thinking about it all the time, and it started to bother me. I thought, I'll go and speak to the doctor, explain what was going on. Diagnosed with OCDC. I got 3 kids, and I had 1 dad joke. As my son said to me, when you do your stand-up, are they all dad jokes? I said, well, you can come and watch me then, technically, yes. Even the ones about your mum. So, yeah, I've done other things. I've got a dog. Anyone else got a dog? Yeah. Like taking a dog for a walk. What happens when 2 dogs meet each other? A bit embarrassing? Yeah, sniffing each other's bottles. Do you know the best thing to say to alleviate embarrassment? Absolutely right, nothing. Nothing you can say makes that less embarrassing. So one guy, I spoke to the guy the other day, and he basically said to me, oh, I'm glad we don't greet each other like that. Why would you say that? Then I was thinking, does he mean humans in general, or me and him specifically? But I get it. So when you're in embarrassing situations, you could literally say the wrong thing. I remember when my son was about 3, I'd taken him swimming, we were just getting changed in one of the cubicles, it was very crowded. And he thought it'd be funny to call me Mark. He just sat there, all quiet, and said, why are you doing that, Mark? I just panicked. I said, don't call me Mark, call me Daddy. It just made it worse. Quite capable of embarrassing myself without any help. Literally the other day, I introduced my son's girlfriend as my boyfriend's daughter. I don't know who was more embarrassed. Luckily, we're all from Norfolk, same person. Yeah. I can't remember where I got to now. So a few people have said to me, I was talking about my mental health, about, brave of me to talk about my mental health. Maybe, but it's probably not the bravest thing that I've done today. I'm doing stand-up, a middle-aged man doing stand-up, and I'm wearing pale-coloured trousers. Eyes up here, please. I will leave you one thing. It's, actually, I was like mental health stuff, and I was like struggling with a dream, it was a recurring dream, and it was bothering me a lot. And the more I had this dream, the more it bothered me. And I felt I was going into a bit of a spiral, and I didn't know what to do. So I thought I'd speak to my therapist and explain what was going on. And she said, well, Mark, what you need to realise is sometimes these things are worse in anticipation than they are in reality. Maybe if you face off to your fears, you might find that you've got more strength to cope with this, or perhaps it's not as scary as you thought. And I thought, oh, that's amazing advice. And I always remember when she told me that, because it was 2 days before I got sacked for going into work with no trousers on. Right, 2 dad jokes and that's me done. Thank you very much.